Danny Acosta for Fight Magazine here with MMA legend Randy Couture. The fight that everyone had been waiting for, Randy Couture versus Fedor, just happened. You came up a little short. Was Fedor as tough as you imagined here in the EA Sports MMA game?
It was a lot of fun, interesting. You know, it's a very interesting, intriguing game, and I'm not a big gamer. I got to play with the game about an hour last night. That's been my only exposure to it, and I don't think Fedor's gotten to play with it that much either. So, you know, it was fun.
Aside from Fedor, what other fantasy matchups do you think would be good for the fans here now that you're in the game? You know, there's Boss Root and a host of others.
Yeah. Oh, I think you could come up with all kinds of ideas. You know, the boss fight was supposed to happen a long time ago, back in '98, and the SEG and the old owners, you know, we found a way to mess that up, and it never happened. So you can see that one here in the game as well.
Is it safe to say that Ryan Couture will have an edge over you in this game?
Probably. He's got a lot more gaming experience for sure.
And are you disappointed that you weren't cast as Captain America here in the upcoming Marvel movie, you know, given that's your moniker and you're out there in Hollywood now?
I would have liked an opportunity to at least read for the part, but you know, we didn't hear about it in time, and that's, you know, that's the way it goes. It's an interesting business. You know, you got to try to make smart decisions and be in the right place at the right time.
Just like your fighting career, huh, Randy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any projects coming up that you'd like to talk about?
We are doing the Expendables, the sequel. We start shooting in March, so I'm looking forward to reading the script and seeing what Sly's come up with for the second one, and bringing everybody back together. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And how was the reaction for you in the MMA community and also in Hollywood? You know, both sides of the coin. You're a big part of both now. What was the initial reaction to the Expendables?
Huge success. Happy to be a part of it, and had a lot of fun making it. And we get to run around with guns and blow stuff up. It doesn't get much better than that. And that group of guys was great to be around. I think from both in the MMA world and in the Hollywood circles, it was a huge success.
And Sly Stallone actually plugged you on David Letterman, gave you a shout out in particular. What was that like for you? And also, have you been talking to Sly about developing an MMA Rocky style movie?
Certainly very flattering to be recognized by Sly, and you know, I think if anybody can pull that off, I think that's something that's been difficult. Nobody's really captured and made that story that everybody gets that really captures our sport, and I think because it's so real and so gritty, it's a difficult thing to capture on film, at least the fighting part of it. So I think it's more about figuring out that story that tells it. And really, Rocky was a lot less about the boxing and more about the story, the character and the story. So we need to find that one in MMA for sure. Maybe Sly can do it.
How about becoming the natural?
You know, there's some talk about that. I don't know if, you know, we'll just have to see what happens.
And with your fighting career, you know, very accomplished. You had the big win over James Toney. Do you have anything left you want to do in mixed martial arts?
I'm just having fun at this point. It's fun to train. It's fun to get ready for fights and compete. You know, I don't know how many of those I'm going to do anymore. I don't know if you know, very interested in making a big run at another title. I've been there and done that, and I don't know how many more of those kind of wars I have left in me. So we'll see what happens. Definitely excited about the film career, and we'll see what happens on the fight front.
If you chose to walk away after the Toney fight, do you feel that's a good note to end as any? You know, you had defended the sport's honor and had you know, a bunch of people there rooting for you and backing you. Definitely a Pro Couture crowd.
Certainly a blast in Boston, and James posed some interesting problems and certainly hyped the fight adequately with all the talk. And you know, it's a win, and you know, even if it was a loss, I mean, I retired for a year after the Chuck fight, and I lost that fight, so I don't think that really matters. The things I've accomplished and all that kind of stood for in this sport is it's cemented there, so I'm not worried about it.
And how did you feel getting your black belt after that submission?
I was very happy about that. You know, I've worked very, very hard with Neil the last couple years, and I think it showed in my performance, especially in my ground fighting. And so for Neil to give me the black belt, I was pretty pleased with that.
If there is one fight in mixed martial arts that stands out to you that you'd still be interested in taking, what would that fight be?
Well, I think we just saw it in this video game. It's still an interesting fight to me, regardless of what's occurred in his competitive career this last year. He's still considered one of the top guys in this sport. And I think a lot of people still would love to see that fight, but there's probably a snowball's chance in hell that it's ever going to happen.
Randy Couture, Fedor, 2012 maybe?
Yeah, I'll be 50-something probably.
Randy Couture.